So, what do you do when things go wrong? I'm doing a lot of work today, so I thought I would make my daily video, doing 30 days of a video, right in the moment where all of the electricity has gone out in my flat because it's snowing outside here in Prague, and immediately my brain went, okay, switch to the online 4G, switch it to a hotspot, got a load of candles out of my cupboard, and it made me reflect on the fact that when we're in performance mode, knowing what the options are is helpful. So one of the things about improv as an as an actor, for example, learning the task of improv or the systems of improv, it can be really helpful even if you're never going to improvise things in the world, because it allows you to know what paths are available to you if things go wrong. And this is often the case. You know, if you're like let's say you're a teacher. Oh look, it's going to go back on again. There we go. There's a beep. Things have gone back on again. The light is going to appear. There we go. There's the light again. Suddenly things are back on track. And if if you're a teacher, for example, and you've got a lesson plan, and suddenly all of the electricity goes off, and all of the technology that you've got for teaching, for example, goes off. If you're well versed in all levels, like let's just get out a piece of paper and do this work. It doesn't matter what format you give you're doing your teaching in. Same for a play. Something goes wrong in the set, suddenly all the lighting disappears. Can you continue that play? If you know it well enough, it doesn't really matter. You can pick up a light, you could continue the work of your performance, being able to contribute and communicate the emotion and the story in a new setting. But the key thing that this requires is that the way that you've learnt how to perform incorporates this kind of act of God, things just happen approach. And so many approaches to learning acting, learning voice, learning presentation skills, I get so annoyed by them as a teacher because they don't incorporate this aspect. They try to give you all of the tools. People have frameworks and they say, you should follow this and you should follow this and this will happen, and you should prepare and prepare and prepare, and you should prepare. But I think my philosophy of teaching is that you should prepare in such a way that if things go wrong, like all the lights turn off, that your brain is just able to go, all right then, well, I need to keep going, so let's do this. And you immediately, I grab these lights without even thinking about it because I want to focus on my work. I'm doing writing, and I feel very grateful to have developed this skill over the years where whatever happens is fine. Whatever happens is fine. And the brilliant, the final thing I'll say about this before I get back to said work that I want to do, is that the thing is, if you've got an audience, okay, you're in front of an audience, you're giving a presentation, you're speaking, you're in an improv show, you're a clown, whatever it is that you're doing, if you have this skill developed and something happens that is outside of your control, you become like a magician. You become amazing. This is the moment where people suddenly go, this is great, and they remember that forever. And I saw this one story to finish up. I saw this in the show Cluedo. Cluedo is a show that is made by the people who made the show that goes wrong. And it's a fun show. It's a nice fun show about the show, the game Cluedo, or Clue if you're in America. And yet there was this moment when I think the detective or something was standing at the front of the stage and his moustache fell off. And the reaction that this giant audience gave was the biggest reaction that we got for the entire show, was that his moustache had fallen off, and we saw that it was a real event. And that was the bit that I remember from the entire show, was the bit that was totally unscripted. Now, as a clown, I know that then the task of that would be to make sure that your moustache falls off every time, so that you can actually repeat those unscripted moments. But I don't think that's what was happening in that moment. I might be wrong. If it is, I give them full kudos. But having that skill, that this was he was a good performer. He did just check in with us as the audience, as he would as a clown, and he got a massive laugh for that. And that is the moment of magic as a performer. But you need to train that. Anyway, I'm going to get back to doing the work that I'm supposed to be doing. But today, then, I've done my video for the day. And I think maybe the light might go off again, because this is the second time in the day. But there we go. Enjoy. If you like voice, if you like performance, if you like improv, whatever you like, sign up and subscribe to this channel. That's all. Follow me. Oh, there's a link in the description for Voice Lab. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to say anymore. I'm going to need to get back to work so I can focus. See you later.